Good morrow, my lovely little ghosts, and welcome to the Dark Orchard. I'm Laura, and this is my birthday vlog. As I said in my intro, this is my birthday vlog. More specifically, this is going to be an overview of the things that I did for my birthday, and it's mostly zoo footage, so stay tuned and watch all the cute fuzzy animals and all the cute animals in general because it was just cute. It was cute. I went to the zoo, by the way. I went to the zoo for my birthday, and there are cute animals, so if you like animals too, stay tuned and watch my footage of the cute animals. First thing I did in preparation for my birthday was I did my nails. I did a very simple silver nail with a black bat. And I think it was cute. Then for breakfast, a Starbucks strawberry and cream frappuccino. First stop of the day, Starbucks. Which was amazing, it always is, but with soy. So once we got to the zoo, there was this gigantic group of kids, and I remembered why I don't go out in public much. Because of the gigantic group of kids screaming and shouting, and the adults had no clue what was going on. I was trying to find general admission, and the adults had no idea if they were in line or not, because they were all focused on like one teacher and trying to keep all the kids in order, and it was just hectic. But finally we did find the general admission, and I say we because I went with my mother. We went on my birthday, but my mother's birthday is literally the day right after my birthday, so it was sort of like a double celebration. So when you enter the zoo, there's like this swampy area. It's actually adjacent to where you see the alligators, but I completely forgot about the alligators and I did not go to see them, and I'm really upset about that, but that's okay because like I've seen an alligator before, but I still wanted to see it again. But anyway, I missed it. I missed the alligator. Because I went to the right instead of the left. To the left were alligators, to the right were cute seals. So the first animal that we encountered was the cute seal. It was a spotted seal and it kept swimming in a circle. From the seal, we saw the polar bear, and my mom had actually never seen the polar bears at the zoo before, so this was her first time ever seeing a polar bear, and she was so super excited. Every time she'd go to the zoo, it was too hot and the polar bears wouldn't be out. But this day, he was out, and he was pacing. He was pacing back and forth, and it was the most interesting thing to watch, because honestly, when I first walked in and saw him pacing, this is a giant animal. Like, you don't think about polar bears being as giant as they actually are. And I jumped. Like, my heart skipped a beat when I saw this, like, giant animal behind the glass. But that's beside the point. I just left the polar bear exhibit. They were absolutely adorable. And fun fact, actually 2 fun facts. Today is not only my birthday, but tomorrow is my mother's birthday, and this was the very first time that she's ever seen the polar bears. And in the same, like, general area, there were also puffins. And the puffins were so cute. And I couldn't help but think about the Swan Princess. And I said that if I ever decided to finally get my black dress Odette ready, I would totally go back and buy a puffin plushie, because that was just so precious, and that's like the only plushie that I saw that I liked. I'll come to plushies later though, because I have a little complaint. Lieutenant Puffin. also, for a very, very brief second, for the briefest of moments, I got to see the Arctic fox, because it stuck its little head over the corner, noticed there was people, and stuck its head right back in. But I have a very tiny clip of it sticking its head out, so I might loop that for like a couple of times so you can see its little head pop out. Because it's just so cute and fluffy. So from there, we ventured over into the desert area where there were a lot of lizards, turtles, and a porcupine, and all sorts of like really interesting deserty animals. There was also a cat, I'm not sure, an ocelot. There was an ocelot. But the ocelot was so preciously fast asleep inside of a log. I got footage of it asleep, but it's like not the best.
He's sleeping. Sleeping in the shade.
The desert area was really cool. It was in a dome. So the dome had different sections in it, and in those different sections were the different animals, and some of them were like right there where you could like see them. So like lots of lizards not behind a lot of glass, like their area was open. And a gorgeous little turtle that burrowed itself underneath a water container. And there was also a little baby owl. Fun fact, my great-grandfather actually donated a bunch of birds to the zoo one time. He was known as Birdman, and he raised a lot of different kinds of birds, from owls to peacocks, and it was to this very zoo. So, you know, that little owl might be a distant relative of an owl that he donated one time. But it was absolutely adorable. We saw a roadrunner, and roadrunners are fascinating little creatures. They're very, very fast. So from the little desert area, we went into like this dark room, and there were like a few snakes and things in there, but I'll be honest with you, I didn't look at any of the snakes. Like, in this dark area, there were actually bats. Vampire bats. And no, I didn't get footage of that because it's obviously pitch dark. They have to have darkness to move around, but it was the most amazing thing. Like, it would fly towards the glass and fly around in circles, and it was just having the best time. I think there were more than one, but I just saw the one, and it was just enjoying itself. It was like it came out to play when we came through, and that was really interesting. When I was little, my favorite animal to see was, of course, the sea otter, and otters are precious. Like, so, so precious. I love to watch them play in the water.
Okay, you see them? See in the water? Don't lean. See them in the water? Yeah, see them? Get down now. See them, Tori, right there. In the water.
Guess so.
Sorry.
Also, I may or may not mention some of the animals that I actually showed footage of, because I just can't remember all the ones that I saw, but I did take a bunch of different videos of the different animals that we saw, so if you see something put in there, it's because they were from the same habitat that the other animals that I've mentioned were from, and that footage just belongs there. While we were at the area where the bison and the elks were,
Can you say buffalo?
we ran into a little girl, and this little girl got on my nerves the entire time I was there. I realized that middle schoolers are still really mean, and this girl was at most like 6th grade, maybe even 5th grade, and she looked at me. I was wearing this. I was wearing a hat, and I was wearing this dress. And she looks at me and goes, "What is that?" Of course, the people with her probably thought she meant, like, what is that in reference to the things we were supposed to be looking at, but she was looking right at me. And she didn't stop making fun of me. Just about every time we saw this little girl, she had something to mutter about to her little friends, and then they'd giggle at me. And no, I don't let it bother me, but I just want to say it because it was just so surreal that this little girl was just making fun of an adult for no reason. No reason. Like, had she never seen someone wear makeup and a dress before? I was comfortable. So after the bison and elk, there were the different kinds of monkeys, like the gorillas and the baboons. The baboons are really adorable.
Look, he's coming out here and look, hurry. Look in the window. He's little. Look. Oh, what's he doing? Look, what's he doing? He saw some snacks over there. She's eating some grass.
He's eating grass.
So from the baboons, you go down a hill and you go towards the safari zone, and that's where the elephants and the antelopes and all of those things are. That's where I ran into the little girl again, and she made fun of me for having a selfie stick. Like, she wasn't, like, to me making fun of me, she was making fun of me to her friends, and I could hear her talking about the selfie stick. Like, I'm sorry, I want good pictures. The safari zone was so cool. I love elephants so much. There's something about a white elephant that I absolutely adore. The elephants that they had were very muddy colored, but they were beautiful. They were so beautiful. And they kept like moving their little ears, their huge ears. They kept like moving their huge ears, and I don't know, they were adorable. We did not see any of the other animals that were supposed to be in the safari zone, but we did see those. It was actually, I had already given up on seeing the elephants, but then we turned a corner and there they all were. So it was a happy surprise. Oh, we saw lemurs. We saw lemurs, and I was like, ooh, where's Mort? I love Mort from Madagascar. But anyway, we saw a red lemur and a regular lemur. I guess they're like the standard lemur, the Zumafu kind of lemur. Leave a comment if you know what Zumafu is. We didn't see pink. After the safari zone, we walked by this like giant cage. It used to be the aviary of, I think it's Jurassic Park 3? 2 or 3? Jurassic Park 2? Jurassic Park 3? The one with tail. Anyway, it reminded me of the Jurassic Park where the pterodactyl is loose because the aviary has been damaged. And one of the cages was for an eagle. And of course, eagles are huge, so they have a big wingspan, right? Well, this was a gigantic nest. And my mom goes, wonder what that was for? And I say, a pterodactyl, because it reminded me of, I think it's Jurassic Park 3? 2 or 3? Jurassic Park 2? Jurassic Park 3? The one with Taya Leone. Anyway, it reminded me of the Jurassic Park where the pterodactyl is loose because the aviary has been damaged. That's exactly what it reminded me of when we walked by it, and it was actually a closed exhibit, so it had that much of an abandoned, creepy vibe to it because all of these bird cages were empty, and it just had that Jurassic Park vibe. And it literally followed the lion signs all over the place, but I don't think we actually ever saw the lion. But we did the giraffes, the zebras, and ostriches really close up. They're tall. Like, duh, they're tall, but they're tall. You don't really think about animals being the size that they are until you actually see them in person, just like the polar bear. But the giraffes were tall. The most magical moment at the entire zoo, though, was something you have to pay $3 extra for. Those $3 extra are to be able to walk into a butterfly dome. It's like a butterfly sanctuary where they're like raising different kinds of butterflies, and you get to walk in and all the butterflies are all around you and landing on you, and it's just the most amazing, magical moment ever. Like, a butterfly landed on my hat, a beautiful orange and black butterfly that matched my outfit landed on my hat, and then the one landed on my dress for a while. There was a gorgeous green one that I just could not get enough footage of. Like, it was stunning. And you get to walk into the butterfly dome and all the butterflies are all around you and landing on you. I actually had emailed the zoo to tell them that I was coming, that I was going to be doing some filming, and that it was my birthday. They wished me a happy birthday, and they told me to be sure to check out Butterfly Area, which is actually a new installment to the grounds. It's just all around so beautiful, and if you're ever near the North Carolina Zoo, go just for the butterflies. Like, it's worth it. Zoo entry was only $15, so 15, 16, 17, 18, it was only $18 altogether for one person to get in, which is so totally worth it because, like, these are animals you don't get to see every day. It's really cool. It's a lot of walking, though. I haven't walked that much in forever, so my legs have been paying for it, but that's okay. It was totally worth it. Totally worth it. I had an amazing birthday. So I think that was the majority of the animals. I'm sure if I missed something, I would have popped the footage in. So you've seen everything that I saw. All around, a really beautiful experience. I had so much fun, and I hope to go back soon. The only downsides: I told you I would come back to plushies. This is a big one. They had plushies of things that weren't even there. They had like shark plushies and white seal plushies and things that they don't even have at the zoo. But they didn't have any bat plushies. They have vampire bats. They do vampire bat feedings on the weekends. They're an attraction. But they didn't have a bat plushie. I went into this saying, I'm going to buy myself a bat plushie because it's my birthday and I want a bat plushie. I want a stuffed animal bat. They didn't have one. They didn't have one. They didn't have anything with a bat on it. At least at Mammoth Caves they have bat-themed things. But here, no bats. No bats. Mind blown. All in all, it was absolutely an amazing time, and I had so much fun, and I cannot wait to go back, and I feel like I missed some things. Now that I'm thinking about it and like going back over it, I missed the lion and I missed the alligators for one. So that was me explaining my birthday adventure. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me on my birthday vlog. I hope you enjoyed this footage, and I hope you come around again soon. Say bye. Bye.
Hello, Laura. This was booked by Brianna. She's your best friend that you met online, and apparently you love Black Veil Brides and my music. I want to wish you a big happy birthday on May 6th. So have the best birthday ever on May 6th, and every other May 6th that follows. Have a wonderful birthday. And then have a good birthday on days that aren't your birthday. You can lie to people and say it's your birthday, because most people don't necessarily know. If you just go up to a bunch of strangers and say, hey, it's my birthday, they're not going to know for sure. I accidentally zoomed. I didn't mean to do that. There's my forehead. Happy birthday.